you do is try not to get roots in there. Look at the crawlers. I can't believe this soil. If you wanted to go fishing here, it'd be the place to come.
The 2009 EarthKeeper Tree Project, an interfaith environmental initiative.
If it rains a little bit, it's going to settle the soil. A little hole in there, so I can always get some good topsoil and dump it in there. And I think that is our last tree for today.
Honoring Earth Day 2009, 12,000 trees planted across the Upper Peninsula of Michigan and northern Wisconsin, and that's a 400-mile area.
I got it from church, and it's a tree. Today was my first communion, and I got this for a present.
We touch the tender saplings and know them to be fragile.
The trees were blessed by over 10 faith traditions, including over 100 churches and temples.
We smell the earth turned over and the rich scent of life as we water these trees you have entrusted to us.
And dear God, bless these trees in the name of all that is holy and divine. Amen. We sprinkle them with this holy water as a sign of blessing.
Each member of a graduating Catholic communion class is given a tree blessed moments earlier.
The children are rehearsing for their first communion tomorrow. We thought this would be a good time to give each of them a tree to commemorate their first communion. And the ages are approximately second grade, 7 to 8 years old. This tree planting project is sponsored by our Christian Service Committee here in the parish. Christian Service Committee sees to the needs and the concerns of our environment and of the needy among us, doing the corporal works of mercy.
Be with us this day and forever. In the name of all that is holy and divine. Amen.
Congregations planted the trees at homes, camps, American Indian reservations, and many other places.
Boxes of trees.
By any standard, 12,000 trees. That's a lot of trees.
Baby trees. Thank you. Wow, assembly line.
Thousands of northern Michigan residents vowed to plant the trees in all corners of the Upper Peninsula.
When you plant them, take the picture.
At a Lutheran church, a Jewish blessing by a member of Temple Beth Shalom.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamoseh lechem min haaretz. Blessed are you, Lord our God, King of the universe, who has brought forth the trees from the earth. We have blessings for everything in Judaism, so I just bless the trees. And we're grateful to God for bringing trees from the earth as we are. When we eat, we bless the bread. When we drink wine, we bless the fruit. Trees are a symbolic of life, and I think it probably starts in the Garden of Eden with the tree of life. So trees are very important in Judaism, as I'm sure they are in every faith. And so we're just happy to be able to plant these trees here in the Upper Peninsula. Well, we're going to plant some of the trees in Negaunee. There's a part of Negaunee called Old Town. It used to be the caving grounds, and it's a very beautiful area where they put trail in. There's a number of trails there, and it could use some more trees.
I work with Dr. Grossman, for Dr. Grossman, and he asked if we would mind helping plant some trees today, so we jumped at the chance. I think it's great. I think we need to get out and do some more stuff like this.
It's a fabulous project. I was born and raised, and I still live in Negaunee. I love the Heritage Trail. It's very close to my home, so I'm excited about planting something there.
Planting these trees, giving life back to your creation. We give you thanks, O God, for the life all around us, for the hope, for the love. We give you thanks for it all.
Kira Fillmore, the project distribution coordinator, said the 12 to 16-inch white spruce and red pine seedlings were all packaged and given away to the churches and temples.
We have our trees and we're going to give them out to over 100 congregations in 16 counties, including Minocqua, Wisconsin, and 15 counties in the UP. Here we are passing out our seedlings, red pine, to members of each congregation that's participating, and they'll take those back to their home church tomorrow to have a little service before distributing them to members and planting at homes or camps all around the UP. Just trying to get trees in the hands of people.
This whole movement has focused on how the faith communities can work together.
The EarthKeeper team includes 10 faith traditions with 150 participating churches and temples, including Catholic, Episcopal, Lutheran, Presbyterian, United Methodist Church, Unitarian Universalist, Baha'i, Jewish, Zen Buddhist, and Quakers.
That speaks of the life-giving power both of water and how the tree draws its life from the water.
Religious differences are a huge factor in many parts of life. And certainly there are big differences between people of different religious communities. However, where is it that we can find ways to work together? Well, nature is one of those places. And EarthKeepers has provided us the opportunity to, again, renew our relationship with people who are very different in some ways and yet very similar.
Interfaith cooperation. 2 of hundreds of examples of interfaith cooperation occurred in Sagola and Escanaba, Michigan. In Sagola, Michigan, a rainbow appeared over the Grace Presbyterian Church as about 30 EarthKeeper volunteers spent 3 hours bagging 1,500 seedlings. The trees were blessed by Reverend David Anderson and then prepared to be delivered or picked up by 7 other churches, including Catholic, Lutheran, Presbyterian, and even a non-EarthKeeper church, but a welcomed congregation, the Mission Covenant Church of Foster City. In Escanaba, Michigan, EarthKeeper volunteers from the First Presbyterian Church and the Central United Methodist Church separated and bagged 1,000 trees. 3 Native American sisters volunteered at the Marquette Distribution Center.
These are my daughters, Pamela, Paige, and Paula, and we're here to help keep the earth green, and the trees are important, and recycling and reducing and reusing is important, and just keeping in touch with Mother Earth.
They planted their trees behind their Gwynn home to attract more wildlife to what's become somewhat of a nature preserve.
We're deciding to do a wildlife sanctuary in the backyard, and because we have deers and all the animals come, so it'll be really cool to see different animals come because of the trees.
Well, we already have like sandhill cranes and deers and coyotes already there, so we're trying to get more animals to come.
I seen a crane and I had popcorn in my hand and a crow came to eat out of my hand.
The Vincent sisters are Cherokee, and their great-great-grandpa walked the Trail of Tears from Maryland to the Appalachian foothills. They explained the connection between protecting the environment and Native American culture.
It's always been tradition that for natives that if you take something away from the earth, you have to give it back or you have to give a blessing. So normally we would give tobacco or you would replant trees. So replanting trees or giving back to Mother Nature.
The co-chair of the EarthKeepers brought trees to her congregation at the Marquette Unitarian Universalist Church.
Our Unitarian Universalist congregation is going to be having a blessing of the trees as part of our service. And we have a memorial garden on our property, and we intend to put some trees there. We're also, meeting house is out on M28. We get a lot of traffic noise, so we're going to put in some trees as sound break along the highway. We also have a group of 4-H youngsters who have said that they would take 30 trees and plant them in a special project.
The trees were purchased or donated by the UP EarthKeeper Team, the Superior Watershed Partnership, Holly Forest Products, the Forest Land Group, Plum Creek Timber Company, and Meister's Greenhouses. Groups and individuals have donated money to help the tree project, including Thrivent Financial for Lutherans, Western Upper Peninsula Chapter 30918 in Ironwood, Michigan.
We are a partner with the Cedar Tree Institute and the EarthKeepers Vision Council to bring these trees to all the EarthKeeper churches across the Upper Peninsula, 12,000 in total. We think trees represent, they're a symbol of life, they represent something that's living that we can easily put into the ground, and it does things that work with our goals at the Superior Watershed Partnership, such things as protecting water quality and erosion.
Trees I think, are a sign of how well the environment is doing. It helps provide oxygen. It provides a place for people to be outside and to recreate. And we're just connected, I think, through our earth by the trees.
Just think of the people that will sit under these trees, admire these trees, look at these trees, breathe the oxygen produced by these trees. Just think of all of those people for centuries ahead.
I'm Greg Peterson, and you're watching EarthKeeper TV.